Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Terry's Kitchen Extravaganza. And today I'm going to be going through how to work with Canva on your phone. Now, I work on my iPhone. I'm not sure what the Android's phones look like as far as creating stuff with Canva. I'm guessing it's probably about the same, but this is with an iPhone. So, sorry it's a little bit blurry, but as I bring it up closer to the camera, it'll clear up. So what you want to do is you find your app, which is the Canva app, and you click on it, and it will take you to this screen. Now this screen, I know it can be a little bit overwhelming and confusing because it's got so much in it. But the way I usually create mine, I use the Instagram post one or a presentation or flyer. But for today's purposes, we're just going to use the Instagram post because that's the one I usually work with to create some of my images. So all you do is you click on Instagram post, and then it gives you a whole bunch of different options that you can use. They are already pre-made things on there. I always like to start with a blank slate because then I can create my own. So once you are here, what you want to do is click the little plus sign on the bottom. So you hit there, and then I start with a background first. So I go to images once I hit that plus sign. Now it'll show you all of the pictures that you have. If you've given it permissions, it'll show you all the pictures that you have on your actual phone. But with me, I like to go where it says images, and then right here is where I find my background. So for example, if I want sparkles, if I want stars, if I want just any type of background that you're looking for, like for vintage, for example. So you go in here and you type vintage and you hit search, and it'll bring up, and you can always scroll up to bring up the rest of the images, and you can just scroll through and see a whole bunch of different vintage images, and then you just select one, and you see that it's not filling the whole area. So all you have to do is you, with two fingers, just fill the image. Okay? Once you've done that, let's say you have wording that is light in color and it's not going to show up on the image, you can always do transparency. How do you do transparency? If you look here in the row where it says camera roll, images, colors, filters, just scroll over a little bit, you'll see transparency. You click on there, and this is what causes your background image to go lighter. See that? So it goes lighter. And then once you're done with that, you're like, okay, that's light enough. Then what you want to do is add your wording. So you go over here again to the plus sign, and then you click on text. And then it does give you options for all different types of text, but I like to add my own wording. So I click on add some text of your own, and then you just start typing whatever you want on there. You can also make a copy and paste text if you know how to do that. But I like creating a lot of my own verbiage. So that's what I do. Anyway, when you're done putting in whatever text you want to show, you click done. Okay, then it'll take you to this screen. This screen will give you the option to change the color of the text, to change the spacing, and the letter type. You can bold it, you can italicize it, you can center it. So on here where it says regular, you click on there. Sorry, it took me to the wrong one. So you click regular, And then if you want to search for a certain type, because I've been doing a lot of vintage, so what I do is I go in here and I click vintage and I hit search. And it'll bring you your vintage lettering. Okay, so you can choose whichever one you want it to look like. I'm just going to choose vintage modern. And it changes your text to look vintage. You can focus it. There it is. So change it to vintage. Once you're done and happy with how your wording looks, then you can click done. Okay, so here's where you change your text. You can change the color of it, you can change the size of it. The size, if you click the number that you see in there, it'll take you to this screen, and then there you can make your lettering bigger or smaller. So it's just a scrolling one. So you go this way to make it smaller, that way to make it bigger. And then once you're happy with the size, you click done. Okay? So that's how you do your background and your wording in there. I always like to add the Pampered Chef logo. I have it saved under logos. So if you click on the plus and you scroll over, there's a section that says logos right there. So I click on there, and I've already uploaded a bunch of Pampered Chef logos and my own personal logo. So to add a logo though, all you have to do is click the add here, and then you find your logo. I download it from Marketing Imagery. So you can go to Marketing Imagery, save it on your phone, and then add it by pressing that button there. But I already have mine stored in here, so I'm going to go with my transparent one. And then it shows up right on top of your text right there. What you want to do is you take your finger, you put it on the one you want to move, and then you move it to where you want it. Got it? So you move it to wherever you want it. And you can also turn it. So if you want it, let's say you want it on this side of the screen, you can do that. You just turn it, and then you grab it and move it. And you can also make this one smaller. How do you do that one? You'll see a little white dot on the corner. You want to grab that dot and just move it in. To make it bigger again, you grab that dot and you move it out. Okay, so that's how you add the logo on there. See that? Okay. So if you want to add more images into your template, your background and stuff, all you have to do again is you click add. Okay, if you want a certain image like your background, you would go ahead and do the image one, or you can do illustration. Illustration is kind of like stickers that you can add to your image. So for example, let's look for vintage again and see what comes up. So you'll see that come up. So if you want to use any of those images in your post, you can select one. And I have the paid version, so some of these things are already paid for, but there are a lot of free ones. So let's say we want this one, and we're just going to click on it. Again, it will appear on the top of your wording. Now we already went through how to change that, how to do that, how to move it. So let's move this one. We'll put it up here. And now this one, you'll see that it gave you two different colors down here. And it also gave you your transparency right as soon as you clicked on that image. Okay. The colors, you can change them to whatever colors you want. So you just click on the color. So this one's going to change the brown color to a different color. So you can either scroll up and select the color from here, and it changes it to the color that you've selected. Okay, if you're happy with that color, you click done. Then if you want to change the other color, you can. You click on it, you select your color, and then you click done. And that'll change your colors for you. And then, of course, transparency we went through. You can scroll one way to make it lighter, the other way to keep it darker. Okay, once you're done with that, just click anywhere outside of that image and you're all set. Okay, once you're happy with your image, you don't want to add anything else to it, then you can click outside, and then up at the top you'll see a little bluish greenish square with an arrow pointing up. You click on there, and then you want to save as, and then here is where it gives you your options. Let's see if I can get it cleared. No, it's not going to let me clear it. Anyway, it gives you different options to choose from. So right now I usually use PNG just because that's a good way to save high quality images. But you also have the option to save it as a JPEG or a PDF. PDFs is more for like flyers. So I always save them as PNG because that's an image. And then all you want to do is on the bottom, you click download. And that's going to download it onto your phone. Okay. And then Canva always saves all your images. So then it'll pull this up. And then you just want to click Save Image. And now it gives you, do you want to continue editing or do you want to go to your home page? And if you're like, oh no, I forgot to add this to the image, you can click on Continue Edit, and it'll bring you right back to the last image that you worked on. So there are other things that you can do on here. So the way I learned with Canva is I just played around with it, just clicked on stuff, clicked on illustrations. You can add shapes, you can add stickers. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can do with Canva, but this was just going to be just minor. This is how you get a background, this is how you add wordings, this is how you add logo. But you can find all sorts of things on here. It also gives you templates. You can add extra pages to the one image or one post. So if you want to do several posts in one, you can just click on page and it'll add another page, and then you can start your decorations the same way that you did with your first one. I'll go ahead and go back, and then there's also your shapes, all different types of shapes that you can add. With shapes, sometimes if you like the background being darker and you're like, but my words are not going to show, I add a shape to the background. I'll show you how to do that. So again, it puts it on top of your wording. So let's say that the background image is darker and you can't really see the wording. You can cover your wording with a shape. And then what you do with this shape, you go up here where these little dots are, and you want to send it to the back. And send it to the back. And then when your words show up, then you can, if you're like, well, it's really dark, that box is too dark, I want to lighten it, so a little bit of the background shows, but your wording still is visible. So you can also do that. If you guys have questions, or if I didn't cover something, let me know. I will go on another video and answer some of those questions if you would like. But was just a simple, this is how you add a background, this is how you add words, this is how you add logos. Um, anyway, I will do another one on how I created my logo. I have several different logos because I do some images that are really dark and well, dark in color, and my black image does not show up very well, and I don't want to do a transparency on some of my backgrounds because they are really pretty. So I ended up doing some in white. So anyway, I will cover that in a different video. So anyway, guys, I hope this didn't go by too quickly. If it did go too quickly, please let me know and I will try to slow down next time. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later, and be kind, be loving, and always, always aim for your dreams, guys. All right, bye.